Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of the Feng Shui and Astrology World Edition 2026. How are you guys doing today? And happy Chinese New Year to all of you guys who are celebrating in different parts of the world. Type of one if you guys are ready. Right, from Romania, Andre. How you doing? Danielle Papa. Nice. And who's that? Jack Williams, Rice, New Zealand. Wow, okay. Pedro from Portugal. All right, how you do? Great. We have from Singapore as well. Nice. Ryan, Aisha, and we have Benjamin. All right. Cool. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Now, did any of you guys miss part 1 and part 2? Any of you missed part 1 and part 2? Yeah? Bruno? Oh, so this is your first session? Okay. Well, so today it's Feng Shui Day, right? We're going to focus on Feng Shui. Again, you can check the agenda. Yeah, the links are on this page, somewhere around here. Make sure you scroll up and down so you can see all the additional information that you need. It should be all here. Okay? So, as you may already know, Feng Shui and Astrology is my signature event every January or the start of the year. We'll do a live in-person event here in Kuala Lumpur and also in Singapore. Back in the day before the pandemic, we used to do a world tour. Yeah, some of you in London. Met me in person in London. Nice. I've done I took the event to Australia, New York, San Francisco is one of my favorite places. Sophia, yeah? You've been to that session before? Yeah, that was, which year? Fisherman's Wharf. Where was that? 2010, 2009, 2010, probably. Yeah? So maybe we'll start again this year, but so a lot of you guys wanted to be part of the Feng Shui and Astrology live in-person event, but you couldn't make it to Kuala Lumpur or Singapore this year. So that's why we are doing this world edition for you guys. And hopefully we cover as much as possible. It's quite different doing it streaming than actually doing this in person, right? Because it's, I only get to see some of the chats that you guys are posting. But then again, right, I can still feel the energy. Type of 1 if you guys are enjoying these sessions. Yeah. Cool. So the agenda is on the page. On the first day, first part, we talked about the overall outlook for the world. And then on part 2, we focus on the Bazi chart and how to interpret it based on the sections, year, month, day, hour of your astrology chart. And then today, we're going to talk about Feng Shui. So if some of the charts inside your destiny chart, some of the animal signs not so favorable for you, and you find that it's a little bit challenging. So what can you do about it? Well, then you can use some Feng Shui, right? So there are 4 parts or 4 tools that we use to forecast the year and also to help us enhance the positive outcome for any particular in metaphysics. So primarily we talk about the Bazi astrology. Bazi astrology is the birth date and time of the year and also your personal birth date and time. And then we map the year chart and your chart together to find where the opportunities are, where the challenges are, and so on and so forth. Then if there are any areas that are kind of weak and needs help, that's when we incorporate the Feng Shui. The Feng Shui talks about your home or your workplace, the energy field in your home or your workplace, how we could enhance it, or if it's something negative, how do we diffuse it? That's what we're going to focus on today. And for some of you who are taking the VIP package, that means you are coming for, or means you're logging in for part 4 And part 5 of our Feng Shui and Astrology World Edition, that's where we're going to be talking about the Yi Jing and the Qi for 2026. Okay, so at any time you want to be part of that, we have a link. Guys, can you put up the link so that you could join our VIPs? There's still time, because after that, well, after today, the VIP will be closed. Then we just concentrate on doing part 4 and part 5. Okay, so today is Feng Shui. Tomorrow also there'll be some advanced level Feng Shui as well. Oh, I keep saying tomorrow. It's actually part 4. Okay, all right. So in case you're new, not to worry. Let me introduce to you how we apply Feng Shui to the properties for 2026. So Feng Shui, generally, I'm pretty sure you heard that people say, oh no, my Feng Shui master says this, but then that Feng Shui master say that, and it kind of contradicts, and I don't know who should I listen to, why they're giving different information. That is because in Feng Shui, most likely, you are listening to a different perspective of Feng Shui, because Feng Shui generally there's the evergreen model, that's the long-term model, and then there's the short-term model. So in evergreen, that means you set up a place based on the environmental features, the landforms, the Feng Shui that doesn't change. So you want it to last perpetually. And then there's another system of Feng Shui that incorporates the time dimension, a 20-year cycle time dimension that's kind of long-term. When you hear terms like period 8, period 9 Feng Shui, that's the long-term Feng Shui that you set up for 20 years. So, and then there's short-term Feng Shui. When short-term Feng Shui is Feng Shui energies that affect us for 1 year, 1 month, or even just on a daily basis. So today we're going to use the school of flying stars, Shui and Kung flying stars, to talk about 1 year annual 2026 Feng Shui. And of course, to do this, we got to start with the compass direction. So the north, south, east, west quadrants of a home, guys, I'm pretty sure you have access to a compass, right? Yeah, that's the basic. In order to do Feng Shui, you need the compass directions. So this is formula-based Feng Shui. Sometimes when you look at Feng Shui, there's some calculations, there's some numbers and all that. That's called formula-based Feng Shui. And then there's forms-based Feng Shui. So forms-based Feng Shui is based on land formations, what you see environmentally, naturally in an environment. Formula-based Feng Shui is usually based on calculation. It's actually based on the time dimension and or certain direction, how energies influence space. So that system generally, it falls under the school of Shui and Kung flying stars. So flying star chart for 2026 is this. This is the flying star Feng Shui chart. Now, these to an ordinary person look like just a set of numbers, but these numbers are they're easy representation of the type of energy that is affecting that location or that quadrant based on the directional quadrant of your home and or your workspace. So the biggest difference between what I'm about to share with you and possibly some of the stuff that you see online or read on books is that, oh, these sectors, there are good sectors and bad sectors are just bad, you should avoid them or you should cure them, and then good sectors are good, that's how you activate them. But from our perspective, this is a bit different. So bad sectors are not always bad per se. It depends on how you utilize that space, and also depends on what you do, right? From the perspective of if you are a business owner, right, you use these stars, these positions, very differently than a professional who's working for a company. If you have a job, how you excel in the job, in your career, the way you use the stars are very different than a business owners who need to emphasize on growth, lead generation, right, brand awareness. So it's very different. The usage is different. So it's not one size fits all. And I want to share that with you today. So before we begin, how many of you here work for others? Type 1 right now. You work for others. Yeah? So you have a job, right? How many of you here work for yourself or you own a business? Type 2. Okay, I want you to be aware of that. because the way you use Feng Shui, what you use here, is different. Even your cures and activation are different because you have different needs, right? If you're a business owner, for example, you can't get promoted. How you're already the number one most important position. You can't get promoted anymore, right? Whereas in if you work for other people, then perhaps promotion is what you're looking for, and or maybe a better pay package, and or maybe a different role, right? So it's different between these two. Even these two scopes are different. Now, of course, the Feng Shui for a professional homemaker is also very different. Housewife, house husband, as the you want to call that, is very different. You don't activate a wealth star for a housewife or house husband. It's you activate the wealth star for a homemaker. You just created more job, more work without more pay. That's not the way to activate, right? Wealth is not a one size fit all. And I know that you probably heard outside that people say just activate the wealth. It works for all, including the housewife. You see, the thing is, a lot of Feng Shui practitioners, they are not really business owners, right? They're artists. I understand their perspective, they're artists, right? So they don't see the business world from the perspective of an entrepreneur, of an employer, and how employees work, right? And they don't run multi-million-dollar businesses, right? So they don't know, or they don't see from their perspective. A lot of them are artists. So from an artist perspective, wealth is just wealth, right? But from a business owner, right, wealth can be your goodwill, right? Your reputation, your brand awareness. So it's very different than, let's say, an individual's brand name, right? Because you work for an organization, you working on a brand name, the star that governs brand name, it's not that useful for you to gain a higher pay or a better role, right? So it's different, right? So you got to understand the difference. So when you look at the flying star chart, what I want to show you today is a different form of practice, a usage of the flying stars. Okay, you guys ready? I'm going to keep this like an hour to a maximum 90 minutes. Right? So this is to like consolidate all the information here. So I won't be going through the specific 24 different directions of a house. That will be discussed probably in part 4 or part 5. Okay? All right. The first part is you need to have to demarcate your house into those different quadrants. All right? Of course, to demarcate a house, you would need a very simple 24 mountain template that to be placed over your compass. Now, your compass on your phone points to north. It's the same north as the compass in our Feng Shui template. Okay, it's the same north. So this 24 mountain template is to be aligned to the north direction where the red is, the 0 degrees north. It follows the compass. All right, I want to show you how this is done. So now just walk over here. You could see this. This is the floor plan, typical floor plan of a home. So what you do is very simple. Like this is easy, right? You just connect the two corners together like this. So you kind of like want to find the center, right? So you see here. So now you know the center. Once you know the center of the home and you stand in the center, so you stand in the center of your house and you look at your compass and see where the direction of north is. So let's just say, right, the direction of north is kind of like when you look out here, this is the north direction, 0 degrees, right? So you're going to stand here and you put your compass in the center and you kind of align this direction to that 0 degrees, right? Because from here looking out, then you know it's the same direction, you see? 0 degrees, 0 degrees, right? So now you know that this sector is north. So what you do is that you will draw this like so. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of time here and slowly show you because some people don't know how to do this, right? I know some of you know, but some of you don't know. So let's keep it simple, right? So now 0 degrees, you from here measure out, it's the same 0 degrees, it's parallel, right? So looking out 0 degrees, you flow from your compass here, right? You just align it to 0 degrees. Now you get in the north sector. Watch. Okay. So this whole box here is north. Opposite here is south. You see that? So you put the compass right here. So you see here, this is north. This is northwest. Okay, if this part is west. Over here you will see southwest, south. Right here, southeast. Here is east. And here is northeast. Can you see that? Okay, if you want to follow the subsectors, then you could look at, like, for example, from the center, you can specifically go, this is north 1. And from here, very specifically, this will be north 2, the red. And right here, there will be north 3, right, in water. You see that? You can get the subsectors as well. Very, very simple. Okay? Now, just to show you more examples. So here, you have one level house, right? So now this is the garage. Normally we exclude it, but in this case here, right, because this part is more than 1/3 of the house, so we will include that, right? This is more than 1/3 of the house, so we include it. Anything that's more than 1/3, we include into the space. Anything outside, we exclude. Got it? All right, so we just square off. I see this part is less than 1/3 of the house, right? So we exclude it. This part here is more, it's half of the house, so we include it. All right? So that means this part, the center is somewhere here. The rule of 1/3, remember that. Okay? So you put the draw here. So the center is somewhere here. Got it? So meaning you will come here and you'll stand in the center of your property. You stand in the center of your property and you hold your compass and you do your measurement, right? And you find out where the north direction is. And then let's say now the north direction is right here. 0 degrees is here. Then you take your template and you go and stand in the center where it is here. You see here, 0 degrees, right? So you draw out the rest of the chart. That's it. So just draw the lines like so. Watch. All right. So you want to do this. It's super easy. Got it? Right. So you draw out this direction. And here. All right, so now label this north sector because it's north. North 2 is here, north 3, north 1, right? This side is northeast. All right, so continue. This will be east, this will be southeast, this will be south, and then here will be southwest, west, and here will be northwest. So join the lines together. Okay, so here you go. Really easy, guys, really easy, all right? So you just connect the thing together. Now you get your north, south, east, west. So this is the north quadrant, northeast quadrant, east quadrant, and so forth, all right? So majority of the sectors is where you want to look at. This is generally the north area. So north, you know, this year has star number 6 and so forth. So you know what star is in what area. You can do the same for office space and so on and so forth. Got it? Okay, so once you get the sectors, right, you can get the 24 sectors and all that clearly written out in the chart so that you know where the animal signs are as well. Once you have that ready, then you can apply Feng Shui for 2026 onto your house. All right, are you ready? Okay, all right, let's go. Now look at this. So the first part is we'll talk about 5 ways to increase your income with Flying Star Feng Shui. I think this is most important, right? So there's not just one wealth sector. In fact, if you understand how to use Flying Star Feng Shui, there are actually 5 ways you can actually activate or use to increase the possibility of better wealth luck for your house. Now, this first part here applies to those who are working for others. This part here applies to those who are doing what? Working for other people. If you are working for yourself, then this first part doesn't apply to you. You got to wait for the second part where I'm talking about business. Got it? So this is working for who? For those who are working for us. You have to differentiate. Now you say, but no, I'm not working for anyone. I am house husband, housewife. Then none of this apply to you. You got to use a totally different set of Feng Shui. Okay? You don't enhance a wealth star to get more wealth. The wealth star is not really money star, you know. It's just a kind of energy that increased amount of work, for example, that, you know, and if your type of work doesn't get paid in cash, for example, right, then increasing the work doesn't actually help you, right? So you don't want to do that. And if you're a retiree, why the hell are you trying to activate the wealth element? Oh no, if I activate my investments, will be better. Then you're looking for investment elements. You don't want to activate wealth luck. Because the moment you activate wealth luck, you will come out of retirement and start to work once again, right? So otherwise, how the money will come, right? So when you're talking about activation of investment opportunities, then you gotta look, is it through connections? Is it through knowledge, right? Is it through networking, right? So what is it? Then you enhance that one component that's related to what you're looking for, okay? All right, so let's talk about the 5 ways to increase your income in 2026. So now we have the numbers, these stars, like star 9 is in the southeast, star 5 in the south, star 7 is in the southwest, star 8 is in the east, star 1 is in the center, star 3 is in the west direction, and so forth, right? So these stars here can represent different things when it comes to income. So the first and foremost way is that you want to fortify your position in your current job. Well, if you don't want to get fired, for example, or retrenched or made redundant, as they say, right? It's a volatile year, not a great year to keep changing jobs. If you don't have one secured, I don't suggest that you change. So you want to make sure that you have a steady job so that your pay is steady and or maybe increase. Then you need to become indispensable in your job. So that's where the star 8 should be activated in the house. Where is star 8? Star 8 is good for career professionals who are working for a job. It's your salary. This is the salary star. They are in the east sector. So where is the east sector? So let's say you look at the house like this. So you see this house? So you look for the east area. So in right here, okay? So this whole area is the star 8 sector. So there are 2 ways to utilize Feng Shui. There's the best way and then there's the second option. Which is the best way? The best conduit for Feng Shui is you. You being in that sector, absorbing the energy of that star and in Feng Shui in that sector, you get the benefit directly. You understand what I mean? So in this case here, if you're in the east sector and your intention is to become indispensable and to get a bit more higher pay, and you're working even at home after hours, you're doing your job, doing your homework and all this stuff, then you're already benefiting from the star 8 in the east sector. But suppose that you cannot use the east sector because someone else is there or you don't have a workspace available, then you can do one of 2 things, okay? You can do, the first one is the elemental activation. The elemental activation technique means you want to enhance the component of that star. When you enhance it elementally, you increase its frequency. So it's kind of like you're amplifying the Wi-Fi signal so that you, even if you're on a different area of the house, you still benefit from the star, which is actually on a different area that you're not residing in. So that's called elemental activation, all right? So elemental activation requires you to understand the elements of the 9 stars in the first place. So star 8 in the east belongs to the earth element. Okay, so being the earth element, there are certain components that can enhance the earth. Which one do you think it is? Fire element, right? So you can use candles, for example. Of course, you don't have to light it every day. Once in a while, maybe at twice a month, big candles that will enhance the fire energy in the east sector for you. Now, it's not as good as you using the sector, but sometimes you have no choice because you can't be in the east sector, right? So there's a difference between using fire element and water element. On part 3, part 4, and part 5, I will explain in detail. It depends on whether you have big goals, long-term goals, or short-term goals. But I assume that you have short-term goals and want faster effect, so fire would be the correct choice here. Now, I know some people say, look, just put a red carpet in that sector, it will be the same. Colors are the weakest activators of 5 elements, just so you know. So just because I'm wearing red today, this red is not going to be the fire element that enhances the star 8. Colors are super weak. So leave the colors to interior decorators and interior designers, do whatever they want with the property, right? So it wouldn't be the main thing that you should be using. The actual element is actually much better. So actual candle with the fire, or the aromatherapy lamp, that on oil lamp, for example, that will be a way better activator for the star 8. Okay, so this is one of the things I can recommend you to do. Okay, all right. So this is for those who are who wants to strengthen their position in the job, but there's always a limit to how much you're going to get paid doing the same job. Yes or no? You can't expect, 10%, 20% more just because. Just because. It doesn't happen, right? So what do? Well, you activate star 9. Star 9 is a jump from where you are to the profit stream of the organization. Profit stream is where you're in sales, right? You earn by commission. There is a higher margin for you to gain more. Okay, you're in business development, for example, and you make millions for your companies. Of course, you could be demanding for more. You came up with brilliant ideas, to promote a campaign, a product, or project. So we call this the profit stream. The highest pay is always in the profit stream. It's never in the administrative work. Okay, so to gain access and succeed in the profit stream, that's when you look for star 9. And this year, star 9 is in the southeast. Again, guys, if you're a business owner, you have to hold on first, okay? Because I want to talk about the business owners and how they use the 9 stars. It's very different. Okay, guys? It's very different than those who have a career right now. So I don't want you to mix this up. And if you are a house husband, a housewife, right, or professional homemaker, then none of this applies to you, right? You cannot be in a profit stream because your work doesn't involve profit, You can be indispensable, but then just means that you work even more at home, then you're already very tired. Now you're going to do more shit, right? So it's a different activation altogether, right? So you have to understand Feng Shui, right, from the Joviat perspective, is always specific to what you do. It's never one size fit all. First, we divide it to 2 groups, working for others, working for yourself, all right? So that's the thing. So your housewife, what should you do? Activate health, noblemen, right? Good relationships. Very different, right? Very different. Obedient and intelligent children, for example. So the focus is very different, family-oriented. The usage of these stars are very different. Okay, now, before you start thinking, that means there's only one or the other. No. It's a mixture. Right now, you're just starting in Feng Shui. So leave that mixing part to me later on. I'll tell you that, all right? Just take step by step. So, star 9 in the southeast sector. There you go, right? This house. So you look for where the star 9 is. Now again, best choice is to be in star 9, be in the southeast, and start thinking about what sort of value you could add to the organization. Okay? So some people, I'm overwhelmed, I cannot do more. What should I do? Then you should be better. right? If you're a higher skill level, you get less overwhelmed. A low skill person will always get overwhelmed. So that's why the star shouldn't be star 9 you're activating. It should be, an academic star to learn more, right? So your capability increases, overwhelm decreases. Capability limited, easily overwhelmed, easily stressed. That's the difference, right? There are people who could do more, right? There are people who can't do a lot. They do a little bit and then they get stressed out. That's the difference, okay? So star 9 in the southeast sector, there are different ways to do this, but my general recommendation for most people who are using southeast is to stick to fire element, because fire with star 9 is faster, okay? There's another way to use star 9, which is water, but we'll talk about that in part 4 and part 5. Right now, stick to fire element. Fire element activates star 9 very quickly, and you must consciously also talk to your company and jump to the profit stream, okay? Now, you could use an oil lamp or candle. Personally, for my clients, I recommend the use of this. And actually, I just give it to them for some of our clients. I want to show you this is something that my team of, now we have a company that we invested in, and they design really, really beautiful products. The 5 elements. This is the fire. What do you call this again, Kenny? Ignis. Right? Ignis, to ignite the fire element. And it's beautiful, all right? So the details of how you get it, if you want to get this from the SageWorks team, you can connect with them. It's on the page somewhere. If not, just go and get a candle then, okay? It's fine. It's the same thing. It's the same fire, okay? So there you go. Profit stream. That's the second way. The third way of increasing your income is not, you don't want to go in the profit stream. You rather not just strengthen your basic residual income, then the better way is to have a high income skill. A high income skill will take you from just doing the mundane daily start work and then double or quadruple your ability to make money. For instance, right? Someone who work on a day 9 to 5 job possibly would, get basic pay, right? But if let's say the person has acquired great speaking skills, can really talk, develop the confidence and speaking ability, do great presentations, just standing on stage to be able to pitch an idea to a couple of thousand people, for example, that itself is a high income skill. So if he used to earn 10,000 a month, now with 1 hour, he probably could make that 10,000 in just one appearance. Keynote speeches, for example. So that's called a high income skill. Today, high income skills include the ability to use AI, for example. It's a very powerful skill to be able to do that, right? Ability to do programming, for example. Those are all different types of high income skills that you could learn. And I will be talking a little bit about this in part 4 and part 5, based on which stems, stems, if you missed that, right? It's in your Bazi chart. There's a specific stem that can talk about a specific skill that is related to a high income in this new era. So if you are thinking of learning something, learn something that pays more, okay? There are low income skills, right? I mean, certain type of job, they don't pay more for it. It's not possible to pay more for it. Clerical work, for example, anyone could do clerical work, right? They don't pay more for clerical work. It's limited, right? So there are certain skills that they pay more. So it's called a high income skill. So to learn that, to get that, you want to activate star 4. And star 4 this year is in the northeast sector. Star 4 is in the northeast sector. So star 4 is good for what? Star 4 is good for academic pursuits. So if you are someone who works for others and you want to get higher pay, the best way is to skill up. Skilling up is a guarantee of getting higher pay. Okay? So, of course, yeah, but I try to learn and that's because you didn't do it long enough. Just do it long, do it well, and do good in a new skill you get there. So, either you study in the Northeast, that's the best choice, best of the best, and or you actually activate Northeast energy. And Northeast energy, specifically the center of Northeast, the best use is wood element. So what's wood element? Here is an example of a wood element placement. This bamboo plants is very common now in Chinese New Year, right? I think you can get it down the street here in Malaysia as well, right? Like it's almost a lot of places in shopping malls, they sell this, right? Super cheap. You can put flowers, but then you just have to keep changing it, right? Or a nice, beautiful plant. Specific, beautiful orchids, for example, you could use that. Northeast sector, okay? But the best is being there in the Northeast and actually doing some freaking studying. A lot of people don't even read. This is the problem, right? They just, I don't know what they do. They don't read, right? So, but do that, Northeast sector. Okay, that's the third way. What's the fourth way? The fourth way to increase your income, if you're working for other people, is to start a side gig. It means you actually have something on the side, or invest in something on the side, or do something on the side that's not contradictory to what you are doing, but it can make some extra income for you. This is where you invest in a side business and start to generate additional income. It's one of these things you gotta do, right? You can't just wait here, just pay me more for being me. Not gonna happen, all right? So this is called side gig. Where's the side gig star? Star 2 in the Northwest for people who are working for others. Now, I know for some people, hey, you say star 2 is the illness star. Yeah, that is for the generic thing. Now you're using it for career. There's an aspect of star 2 that's good for career, which is the side gig, right? This is the future wealth star. So, in the Northwest sector. Northwest sector. All right? So you want to be there, talk to your potential business partners, right? It's not always sleeping there. Some people say that, okay, I got no room, can't sleep on the sector. What makes you think sleeping on a sector is the way to use Feng Shui? Why can't you work in a sector instead of sleep in a sector? Because sleep is easier than work. That's why people just choose sleep, right or not? You lazy buggers, sleep all the time, right? So it's not sleep in the sector, it's using the sector, using it while you're conscious. So planning, if you just want to start a side gig, you have to do research, yes or no? So do where? Northwest. If you need to start a side gig, you need to talk to potential partners, you need to raise funds, you need to talk about business plans, you need to look for resources. So do that from Northwest sector. That's what you do. Okay? So, now if you're using the Northwest, right, you can also add an additional element in Northwest to just make sure that the energy is channeled towards your side gig and make sure none of the illness energy actually affects you. And that is the usage of metal element in the Northwest. Okay, any pewter objects, metal objects in the Northwest will help you. Then the star 2 is really strong. So it will kind of filters it and keep all the good energy that is focused on you producing that side gig. Now, last but not least, in order to generate more money, you simply need more money. No, you don't need more money. You actually need more courage. You need the courage to take the first step. You need the courage to take the leadership role. You need the courage to talk to your colleagues. You need the courage to convince your colleagues. You need the courage to influence people. You need the courage to sell. You need the courage to present. Courage is the key. Problem is, most people fear, right? They fear, they panic, they cannot go to the next level. So what do? Increase confidence, increase courage. So this is a very powerful tool. A lot of people, it's because of this, they don't get further. Right? You don't even dare to speak to your boss or your superiors. No courage. So what do? Star 3 in the West sector. Star 3 in the West sector, using Star 3 to plan your speeches, plan your interviews, plan your discussion with your colleagues, plan your presentation. All this will be so beneficial to you and it will increase your courage. Now, I know for some people, Star 3 is the argument star. If I go there, I'll argue with my spouse. No, you won't. It's an energy drive intensive star. That's why part of it is for courage. All right, it makes you not satisfied with the status quo. You want to be different, want to be stronger. So that's why it gives you that strength. So Star 3 makes you angry a little bit, but in a positive way if you're focusing intentionally on increasing your career. So it sort of, jazz you up a little bit to do it. So Star 3 in the West, using it is the best. right? If you want to bring out the best from this wood element of the star 3, you don't enhance it with water, you actually use fire element to make wood produce fire, and fire is bright, it represents brilliance. We call this in Feng Shui Mok Fo Tong Ming, brilliance formation. Okay, so you can place a fire element in the west sector to assist you with this. 5 ways to increase your income. Star 8 in the east, make yourself indispensable. Star 9 in the southeast, profit stream, right? Some people say, can I place a red horse there? Nope. The red horse ain't gonna do shit. It's just a plastic horse. What you need is actual fire element. All right? So wood element in the northeast, high income skills, then side gig, star 2 in the northwest, and then courage in the west. Got it? That's for people who are working for others. Now, business owners, different ways of using these 9 stars. Okay? If you're a business owner, how many of you are a business owner? Tell me right now. Yeah? Jia Hao? Marcus Ong? Yeah? Great. Mr. Felix, is it Felix? Yeah? Nice. Okay, so you have you're a business owner. So primarily you will be doing this at your, you can do this at home or your business premise. The way you use the star, your intention, your ideas, and what you want to create is actually very different than a person who's working for other people, right? Promotion, all that is what ordinary people probably will be looking for, but you are not looking to promote yourself, right? You're looking for different things. So let me explain to you how this works. So in your premise, in your space, your workspace, the sector of southeast is not your the sector for profit streams. The sector of southeast is your customer acquisition sector. This is the southeast because of star 9 this year and the combination that you have in period 9. Specifically, where you need to acquire qualified leads for customers is the customer acquisition. The reason why a lot of businesses don't have a business or they don't have a thriving business because simply don't have customers. So working on the creation of potential customers, lead generation, is why you want to activate star 9. See the difference? Okay? So the application of this is very important, right? First, you want to find out where the southeast area is, and you want your marketing head or marketing team and or marketing meetings be done in this area. Very important. Okay? And the application of this, specifically, you want to use water and wood element. This is how water and wood element look like. I know it's not the most prettiest, but this is how I use water and wood element. Simple, okay? And you want it to be on the Southeast 1 sector. Southeast 1 sector is when you, look, I'll give you an example. This is a premise of the property and you have the compass superimposed over. Can you see? This is Southeast and that right here, I highlight right for you. Southeast 1, where the dragon sector is. Okay, important. So either A, you use the whole Southeast for your marketing campaign discussions where you brainstorm the greatest ideas ever. So you can have your lead generation and your customer acquisition strategies, right? And you plan how much you want to spend on marketing. This is important. Listen, guys, the business cannot just happen to you because you have a great product. That's a very old school thinking. A great product is obviously very important. I'm not saying that it's not. It's very, very important. The only problem is people must know about your great product. Do you agree, guys? Right? So that's the Southeast sector. Got it? Specifically Southeast 1. Now, if you are an employee, right? You are a professional. You activating Southeast 1 has got not much effect for you because you're not. What do you need this customer acquisition for? You see my point, right? They have different use for the Feng Shui. Guys, are you seeing a different way of applying Feng Shui right now? Yeah? Okay? That's why there are ordinary Feng Shui masters, and then there are super rich Feng Shui masters. They're different, right? Because they know what to do with the Feng Shui, right? So I'm referring to those high-level practitioners in Hong Kong, the masters that work for the billionaires, right? There's a different way of using Feng Shui. All right, guys? So, now you know. So the next thing, in business, what is most important? What is the life and blood of business? Cash flow, you're right. Cash flow. Cash flow for a business, if you run out of cash, collection of money, for example, collection of payments, your business will die. Yes or no? Right? So this is star 8 in the east sector. Okay? Star 8. So in your business, the east area is your cash flows. You want to have your finance people that goes out to collect money be in this area. Make the calls. Right? If you're the one collecting money, be there. Make the calls. Nowadays, you can work anywhere in the office, right? Don't just keep thinking, I need to put things. Put is a second option. The best is use. Use is always the first option. That's how you see the effectiveness of Feng Shui. Okay? So east sector first. Now, specifically, if you can't use the space, as in person, then east 3 with water is what you need to activate. Very specific. East 3 with water. What kind of water? Any water looks like this. This is me. I know it looks like a dustbin because it is. This is me using my water activation. Collection. Cash flow. Now again, you doing this in your own house if you're an employee will have a different effect, right? Because it's not based on you running a business. Business owners, is this helpful for you? Yeah? Cool? All right. So, these are the 5 business accelerators, 2026, the way to boost your business. All right, the third way is that you want your work, your one-time work to compound. You can't always come up with new campaigns. You can't always come up with new products. You can't always come up with a new thing. You want your old thing to continue selling. Yes or no? Right? So you want to compound it. You want to grow it. Bigger markets, right? Bigger utilization. Guess which star we're going to use? Guys, this year, Northwest has that star for you. Star 2. In a business premise, specifically, I'm referring to the sector of Northwest 3. Northwest 3. Still Northwest, but Northwest 3. You see in the house, the property here? This is, let's say, an office. Look at the Northwest sector. Northwest 1, 2, 3. Can you see Northwest 3? Zoom in. Northwest 3. This area. Okay? So, what do you do with this sector? You need to use fire element. Okay? Northwest 3, fire element specifically. See, you can't, it's not one size fit all, guys. It's different for different people. So if you have old products that you need to enhance and resell, right? You need compounding effect. That's the way to do it. Next is maybe this all cash flow, you're good, you have leads, you have good products. Maybe it's attention that is weak right now. Your visibility is weak. Your message is not going out to your customers. You have a great product, but you can't tell the story. Could that be the problem? That might be the problem, isn't it? So what should you do? So in Feng Shui, especially this year, we want to utilize Southwest sector to create the attention and visibility. Southwest sector. So this is a property, commercial property. We look for where the Southwest is. There, the Southwest sector. Okay. So which part of the Southwest sector specifically that you want to use? We want to use Southwest 3 sector. Where is it? So there you go. Southwest 3 sector. So Southwest 3, we use water element. Or you put your branding team there, right? Or you yourself plan the vision, the storyboard, how you want to tell the story, the messaging. The copywriters will be great here. Or you activate it and then do the job. Listen, you can't just activate Feng Shui and then do nothing in your business. You got to have some business activities, right? Business activities, and then plus activating Feng Shui two together, you get the effect. Okay? So that's how you do it. Now, last but not least, you want to activate what we call a tribe. A tribe is very important. Basically, it means that you have a lot of fans who follow your work. That is something that you want to work on, creating the knowledge, a knowledge database, right? Where your people can come, they can learn. A community is a big thing now, right? A lot of people who are successful, a lot of business successful have their own community. No, we have our own community, right? How many of you are here in Tribe Plus? How about me right here? Right? So, how do you do that? You do your writing, and your research, and your communication from the Northeast area. Northeast area. There you go. Specifically, Northeast 3. Northeast 3 is where you want to utilize the element of fire element in Northeast 3. The application is very different between a business owner and a individual who work for other people. Okay? There you go. Now, you guys okay so far? All good? So these are the 5 ways to activate for business owners. All right, nice. What's this? Promotion, right? So we keep talking about promotion. How do we get a promotion? Okay, so there's a few ways to do it. You guys ready? How many of you are looking to get a promotion? Yeah? Okay. So this is what you do, all right? Now again, first of all, you must be genuinely, honestly believe that you deserve one and that you have worked and contributed. That part, I don't know. A lot of people actually don't deserve one. They just say they do, okay? So, suppose you really want, you do think you qualify for one, then there's some ways to trigger the positive activation for career advancement. Okay? So you ready for the formula? This is what you do. You guys ready? Okay, first, you gotta have your printout. Okay? Your parts printout right here. And what I need you to do is to look at where your life gua sector is, the direction. So it says here, life gua, and then there is a direction. Right here, you see this person is life gua 1, is north sector. Can you see the word north? So that means this is where your home base is. This sector in that house represents you. So when we practice Feng Shui and we want Feng Shui to affect a certain individual in the house per se, then we always look at the sector that represents them. There are 2 sectors that actually represent them. The number 1 is the life gua sector. The second sector is the animal sign, where the animal sign is for that individual. But right now, we're not using the animal sign. We're using the life gua sector. So in this case here, north is your base. So in this case here. So what you want to do is, we go to the house. Let's just say this is the house. See the house here, right? Okay, cool. So this is the house. We look at where the north area is. And then inside the north, we're going to stand inside the north and take our compass out and then do a north, south, east, west direction. So within the north sector, I want you to look at the compass and look at north, south, east, west. So we call this the small Tai Chi within the north room. So within the small Tai Chi in the north room, you're going to look for the star 9, which is the southeast little corner in that room. So you want to activate the star 9 in that specific area. Okay? So can you do that? So you look at where the star 9 is in the southeast, and you want to use the fire element in the subsector. So go and find a nice little candle, one that looks like this, perhaps. Okay? Now, on some candles, there are words. You can write your own word, or you can get the ones with the ready-made word. This is called the one character verse technique of Taoist method. Okay, so the Taoist basically, you know the word they write in Chinese, you have the word folk, right? Prosperity. Then they paste it all over the house, right? So that's to induce the intention of the word prosperity. So if everyone start thinking and talking about it, that sort of ushers that possibility, because it triggers the thought, and thought triggers how you feel. If you feel like that, it becomes a reality. So it's part of the attraction. So by using certain words that triggers the emotion, that together with the feng shui of the element, that creates a kind of like a spell, all right? So but in Taoist magic, is basically a way of manifesting the outcome. So words must mean meaning to you. If you put in a language that you don't know what it means, like for example, you write in, I don't know if there's a Kazakhstan language and I don't know how to read it, it means nothing to me because I don't understand what it says. So you know, some people will have like, oh, they put the Sanskrit word, for example, but if you don't read and write Sanskrit, you're like, okay, what is this, right? You don't know what it is. So it has to have a meaning for you. So you can't read Chinese, write in English, all right? Don't just put Chinese word. So have that onto the candle and light it. What's our promotion, right? Wealth, position, power, status, recognition, right? Respect. Have it in the southeast sector of your life gua. Okay, here's another example. So someone with Gua 2, life Gua 2, southwest sector. So southwest sector is the personal sector. So which means, what do? So you go to the southwest room. Hopefully you can find a room or a space. So within that area, you stand in the center of that area like so. And then you kind of look at where the north, south, east, west quadrant and look for the small Tai Chi or the small areas, southeast sector for this year. Because the southeast sector is where star 9 is. Yes or no? Okay, so you're there now. What do? You pick the fire element and you put it in the subsector of the southwest area, which represents you in the subsector of star 9. So this is the special feng shui setup. And of course, if you have some very powerful words in the candle that has something, a meaning to you, yeah? So if you write in Spanish, then you understand better in Spanish, write in Spanish. Don't, for God's sake, don't write in Chinese because you can't read Chinese, right? So have something that's meaningful for you. Right? So in this case, it says what? Status, right? For example, a Chinese word, position, power, right? You can just use that. Easy. Okay? All right? Relationships. All right, you want to activate relationship. How do you do that? Okay. So first of all, I think you have to identify what exactly we are talking about when they say relationships. All right? So I think we can have another 5 things that represents relationship, but that will be a long talk because most people, when they think about relationships, they're probably thinking about peach blossom attraction. All right, so I'm going to start with attraction first. Yeah, I'll start with attraction first. So remember, there were 3 animal signs that specifically have very good relationship or peach blossom or attraction related elements. Did we talk about it? Maybe I missed that, all right? So we're going to talk about it now. All right. So these animal signs are the rooster, the rabbit, and the goat. They all have different types of attraction or connection stars inside these 3 animal signs. Okay? So the rooster in 2026 has an auxiliary star called the red matchmaker. So red matchmaker basically means a relationship that matured nicely and developed really well and subsequently become very meaningful. So it's a great peach blossom star. So activating this will obviously give you a better chance of meeting someone that is worthy of your time to develop a long-term relationship. So the question is, how do we find this sector? So remember, we have let's say, take our house examples of this house, right? Right. So you have the 24 mountains written on top. Yeah. And specifically, you look for the West 2 sector. All right. So for the whole house, you see the West 2 sector. All right. So the West 2 sector, that is the red matchmaker sector for 2026. Now, specifically, to activate this star, the Feng Shui classics will say go with the elements because peach blossom is a wood element, so use wood. So, but they also say don't put an ugly wood because then the ugly wood obviously will attract an ugly looking I mean, a person that looks like a wood, right? Not good. So what to do? Put beautiful flowers, right? So flowers, nice, beautiful, fresh flowers, represent the beauty of that relationship because it's a peach blossom star. So find the sector, have some nice, beautiful flowers, right, in that sector to trigger the aspect of peach blossom. All right. So that is one way to trigger that. Now, of course, that works for the guy, but if you're the girl, you put flowers there for what? Unless you want to attract another girl. All right. So what you want to do is you put something more masculine that represents your man in that sector. Okay. So you gotta look at what is the peach blossom you're trying to attract. All right. All right. So the other sector that has the peach blossom star, or when I say peach blossom is that attraction star, is in the rabbit sector. Rabbit sector has more positive elements. So that sector is the East 2. Right here, right? East 2 sector. Now, the difference is the East 2's peach blossom is kind of like a bit more like a one-off thing. It's not very lasting. So it's possibly, if you just want to have a bit more fun, but a bit more attraction, you could do that. So to activate this, one of the components that is best used in this case is the water element. So water with flowers is one of the ways to activate peach blossoms, specifically in the East 2 sector. Okay? So which one is better? Well, you want short-term or long-term? Well, long-term will be the West 2. Shorter term, all right, just the increased attraction and connection, East 2. Can we do both? No need. You go crazy. Remember, you don't want to be dramatic. Yeah, don't be dramatic. Choose one. Which one do you think is better? So short-term sometimes is faster, East 2. Longer but better, West 2. Okay? Now don't come, should I do? No, just choose one. Yeah? The third one is not a relationship as in intimate type. It's more related to a partnership, like attracting work with a strong partner and an individual who could support you or you support them. Good friends, like really meaningful friendship. That one is the goat direction is Southwest 1. Okay? Southwest 1 sector. So Southwest 1 sector is called the Hub Tai Soi, combining with the Grand Duke sector. This sector, not only activated, will help you reduce the impact of the Grand Duke in case you activate it. Now, I'm going to talk about Grand Duke in part 4, part 5. There are certain things you need to understand. It takes a bit more time to explain that. So part 4, part 5, an explanation on 5 yellow together with Grand Duke. How do you actually mitigate and use it? But one of the ways is to understand the kind of like the partner of, what's the Grand Duke's partner? It is in the goat and horse combines. So activating this would be highly beneficial. Water element in the Southwest 1. Okay? So that increased partnership and connections. They're all related to relationships. Those are the 3. Okay? Now you know. Now there's a lot more here. For those of you who are a little bit more advanced in your Feng Shui, let me show you something. Okay? Now, we have Feng Shui compass. How many of you have this? The period 9 Feng Shui compass. This is the template. This is exactly the same thing. So when you do your house, right? Let me just draw out the house, right? So here, in this case here, this is more than 1/3. So I think there's more than 1/3. We include. Okay, this is more than 1/3. We include. More than 1/3. We include. So what we do, we take the house and we get the center, and then we take the compass direction. Okay, so let's just say that this house faces to northwest direction. Northwest direction, right here. Watch. It's important, yeah? I want you to take note of this. Okay, so we get the house out. This is very, very high level practice, just so you know. I'll talk more about this in part 4 and 5, but I don't want the rest of you guys to miss out as well. So I'm just going to tell you this. Watch. So let's say now I want to do an activation that specifically can be very beneficial to, let's say, power, right? I want to activate power per se. Now, I know the power element, status and power is in star 6 in the north. So this is the north area. So the north area, if I look at the compass, I look at the north, there is the period 9, period 1, 9, 1. Those are the final, we call that the actual meridian points. So if you look at the compass in north, right here, can you see? Right here, there's position right here. I'm going to draw this out. Right from the center. Right, or right here. Okay? And period 1, right here. Watch. Pay close attention to this. This is the secret to Xuan Kong Flying Star Feng Shui. Okay, so let me just fill up the lines for you. All right, so here you will see watch this. So all the way here, this is period 9. All the way here, period 1. So the combo of 1 and 6 gives status, power, and position. 9 gives you instant gratification, but not the highest level. But 1, 6 is a superior combination. So right on this angle, I can insert metal element anywhere here in this house because it's star 1, period 1, and it's star 6. You activate a superior level of activation, status, power, money. Okay? All you're missing is just the date. So that is when you utilize the degrees in the compass. I don't know if you can see this on the screen clearly, right? All the special meridian points, period 9, period 1, the special number combos activating together with flying stars. Okay, I'll talk more about it in the session 4 for those of you who want to take this further. Okay, so parts 4 and parts 5 refer to the agenda, please. If you want to know what we are covering, generally we are covering everything that we state there in the part 4 and 5. But if not, I think you have enough knowledge here about flying stars, about the astrology charts and the outlook for the year. It should serve you from now to the end of the year, and hopefully I'll see you again in Feng Shui and Astrology 2027. And for those of you who would like to take this further, then don't miss out on joining us on the VIPs so that I can see you again on part 4 and part 5, where you get the details of the 24 directions as well as some Qi activation dates as well. Okay, and for those of you guys who would like to have the is it the replays, guys? The extended replay? Yeah? So upgrade to the VIP if you have not already done so. It's just like $47, I think, right? Then there's an extended 7-day replay of the last 3 days, as well as the parts 4 and 5. And there's a dedicated Q&A where you get your questions answered as a group. Okay? So once again, the QR code is here and the link is right here. All right, and today is the last day. My team has just reminded me today is the last day to upgrade, obviously, because after that, then we already started, right? So I will see you for part 4. What's that? Oh yeah, the Grand Duke. How to mitigate the Grand Duke and the 5 yellow. Yes, I will be talking about that in part 4 and 5. You must know about this. Because if you fuck up the 5, right, it's a big problem this year. It's in the south, right? And for now, for those of you who are not attending, just don't touch the south. But if your house is facing the south or you're in the south room, then you might want to learn a bit more to mitigate the 5 yellow and the Grand Duke at the same time. So this is a double whammy this year. I think you should know about it, okay? And the special activations. You want to activate confidence, courage, super learning. There are specific dates where you could use Qi, right? And you don't want to miss out on these dates. Not just the dates, you have to know the process, the way, the sectors, what to do and how do you do it. I'll show you how, right? In parts 4 and 5, and specifically for the sectors, the subsectors, what elements and cures to use for the house. all there. So there's a lot more, right? It's a lot more where we can talk about in parts 4 and 5. So don't miss this. I'll see you there, all right? So details, once again, is on the screen and the link here. And get a 7-day replay, all right? Don't miss this now. Got to do this right now before we end this. This is the last day to upgrade to VIP. All right, guys? I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.